How are you gonna be in bodybuilding and not talk about the drugs?
Working all the way back to
Getting close. Like some guys would be embarrassed to show themselves at this stage, but I'm just excited to document the progress.
Why it's important to stay humble, going through everything I have been through, is knowing that we're only one injury away from it all being over.
How are you gonna be in bodybuilding and not talk about the drugs? I guess that's the problem with these towns, man. It's like people lie and won't admit it. Like, I get it if you don't want to be like, this is what I take and these are the doses I take. Like, I can understand that, but at least acknowledge the fact that you're using a substance. Or just say you don't even have to say what you're taking, but just acknowledge the fact that, yes, I'm not natural and yes, I'm enhanced. Like, I don't understand why you wouldn't talk about it at all. Especially at a high level, you know? Because you're kind of like misguiding people. And then you get these other guys that are like I'll have a repost of a deadlift video back when I was like 280 and jacked. And they'll be like, oh, anybody could do that on steroids, or you're on gear. And I'm like, dude, congratulations. If you have to ask somebody if they're taking steroids, they're probably not doing it right. Like, no one had to ask me if I was taking steroids. You could just look at me and be like, that guy's taking steroids. But I mean, it's so easy to get blood work now. Like, why would you not? Like, back when I first started, none of those things existed. So it was like you had to go to a medical doctor. You couldn't walk into a lab and just be like, hey, I want these tests done. Like, we have any lab down the street. Literally just run any, like a metabolic test. They'll tell you estrogen level, free testosterone, cholesterol, and then you can make decisions based on that. So like, I work with clients in the gym here. I'm like, go down there, get your blood work. Costs them, a few $100. And then if, I have them do it before they run a cycle, mid-cycle, then post-cycle. Make sure that they're recovering. See what the issues are, and then make sure they rebound. Like, if your pre-labs don't look like your post-labs, you fucked up. And now I barely even do that. I'm like, go talk to Alex. I'm not qualified to give you this kind of guidance. Go see a professional doctor. But then that's what sells better, Like, all the really good powerlifters I knew and really good like bodybuilders I knew, like, they stopped doing what they were doing and like transferred into just being influencers, and they make tons more money now. They have bigger followings, promote different products, rather than like the people that stay true to competing, they never do as well. And I get it, like, powerlifting is such like a small demographic of like this larger view of fitness. And same with bodybuilding. Bodybuilding's a little bit bigger, but if you just market yourself to one of those subsects, like, rather than the whole spectrum, you're gonna limit yourself. And for business purposes, I get it. But it's also like, dude, don't you have integrity? Like, you're doing the exact opposite thing you said you were gonna do. Every few generations, it's like these waves, right? And history always repeats itself. It like, we push the envelope a little bit and then we revert back to being conservative. And right now it's like, I think people are at that level where it's gonna start shifting. And then like 20 years from now, I think a lot of people are gonna be embarrassed about what they had posted online. Yeah, there's not a lot of data with women, and a lot of the women that use steroids lie about it. And if they are, they lie about using. Like, I can think of one girl, and specifically it comes to mind, she was like a pro physique competitor, and she's like, no, I'm natural, on a fucking podcast. And I'm like, there's no fucking way. And then like later she like admitted she took Clen and Anavar, and I'm like, that's every fitness chick's cop out, right? Like, I take Clen and Anavar. It's like, you're taking more than that. But they're like, oh, I won't talk about it online because I don't want my family to find out. I'm like, I could tell by your jawline, I think they are on to something. Can't hide that mustache forever. No full stack today.
No full
Working all the way back though.
Getting close. I am still on prednisone, but a very low dose. He's not talked about eliminating it yet, but. So quick update with that. I'm down to seeing the doctor once a month. I do blood work about every other week now. Things are somewhat stable. The creatinine is creeping back up, mostly because I like worked out the day before I got my blood work done. So finishing today, Saturday, I'll wait 2 days. Sunday, Monday, completely rest, so then get my blood work done on Tuesday, see if the creatinine drops a little bit. But I also went back on my regular dose of TRT because I had dropped it for a long time. So Alex doesn't think it's affecting my creatinine levels. He thinks it's the workout / sleep. So we'll find out. Yeah, so TRT, I'm like 225 of sip is what I'm doing right now. 225 of sip, and then that's it. And then I do like AI, Anastrol, like I do that Tuesdays and Fridays. 2.5. Like physical symptoms?
Yeah.
Yeah, you usually like feel a little bit more emotional or sensitive about shit. Like you'll be like watching a movie and getting choked up and you're like, what the fuck? Like I was watching like a Disney movie and like the main character's like mom died or something and I was like, oh man. But it like triggered my emotional trauma from my mom dying. And I'm like, started to get teary-eyed. I'm like, fuck this shit. I called Alex up. I'm like, dude, we need to make a change. I'm starting to feel feelings. I don't want to do this. No, but I literally made fun of Call of Duty this morning.
Oh, really?
And then you came over here bragging about Call of Duty.
Hey, I got a PlayStation, bro. I'm going to play it. What do you want?
No, it's
You normally don't like it because you're ass cheeks at video games. So.
Yeah, I played real sports. We could have the most controversial YouTube show ever. Just post a random conversation. But it's like, we have like such extremes here on different views, which is cool because it's all united by lifting, but like from my training clients to coaching clients to people that work here to members, like the views are all over the place. So like it's a melting pot. But it'd be very scary to have them actually know what each other was saying. Because I just stand there like, I mean, you can increase your red blood cell, and there's definitely like people that use like equipoise and EPOs, they definitely see an increase in rep ranges and longevity. But then your hematocrit's usually pretty fucking high too, which can increase blood pressure. But if you're an endurance athlete, it could be beneficial. But like equipoise is a fucking drug that was developed for racehorses to help them perform better. So it's a anabolic steroid, but I believe I forget what category it is in, but it's definitely more androgenic. We'll have to ask Alex.
For more information, stay tuned.
Yeah, you know, like I hate giving out advice on shit because I'm not a fucking pro, you know? Like, I've read shit and I've gotten information that was bad information before, so. And I, like for years thought one thing and then like started talking to an actual board certified doctor who can educate me, and it's like, it changed my perspective on a lot of things. So people ask me like advice on cycles. I'm like, I can tell you my experiences and my friends' experiences and other clients' experiences. But that doesn't necessarily mean that's going to be your experience. Because I know people that touch something and they're like, oh, I couldn't sleep, or it turned me into a psycho, or it made me really horny, or I got ED on it. And I'm like, yeah, man, you can have a slew of complications and side effects. Some people like the side effects, like, oh, I was horny all the time. I'm like, when I was like it was a problem. Like it was like being hungry all the time. Like you literally could not have enough sex to fulfill the need. Like it's like I think of that old Dave Chappelle skit where he's like talking about Samuel L. Adams' beer. You'd be fucking in no time. literally half the guys I know on Mastron and Trent. It's like, ooh, man, that chick's kind of cute. I'm like, are you crazy? It's like some guys would be embarrassed to show themselves at this stage, but I'm just excited to document the progress. My biceps already cooked just from those pulls. How embarrassing. You always differentiate client videos, and like, you know, some guys aren't used to having a spotter, and I usually, like, always encourage it, but especially on bench, you know, like, you're not gonna push your hardest if it's like RP9 or like getting close to 90%. And plus, like, just have that confidence level of having a spot. But I like program it for clients, and some of these guys are at like a commercial gym, and then like the guy won't leave, his hands never leave the bar. He hits it for like a set of 5. I'm like, yeah, we got to do that one over. And then you get guys that are at barbell clubs, and it's like they got 2 side spots, a lift off, hands off, like people that know what they're doing. But also like the equipment differences, right? Like guys that are using kilos and competition benches versus the dude on the glorified foam roller with sticks that just shake every time he benches. I'm like, yeah, you're probably not gonna be able to hit a 400-pound bench on the Fisher-Price My First Bench Press set. The Olympic lifters like that whip. Then they like fill it full of bumpers so the bar's bouncing. Like, oh, that looks like a lot of weight. I'm like, it's not. You got guys closing in on a grand, that bar's stuck to them. And then you got guys squatting like 400 and the bar's just all over the place. My clients are, like my non-powerlifting clients, are more impressed by the guy with the bar that's whippy. Like, look at that. I'm like, dude, you saw 3 people do that yesterday at my gym. You didn't say anything. What? It's the same amount of weight? I'm like, yes. Well, why does the bar bend? Because that guy's a weirdo. The weirdest people always in the athletic world, fucking baseball players. Every time, they just like joke around too much. Like, you guys spend way too much time on the road. Hockey players, football players, all cool as fuck. Most of the time. I mean, you get degenerates everywhere. Basketball players don't spend enough time in the weight room to really get to know that well. They're scared of the weights. They do those LeBron James cable presses. I don't want to get bulky, man. So many people, I'm gonna do a bodybuilding show, I'm gonna power lift, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And they get so much satisfaction off of just saying it that they never have to follow through with it. And everyone gets behind them, you know, and they're like, yeah, you can do it, I'm proud of you. But then when you post that you've made it to your dream, like, hey, yeah, fuck yeah, dude, my gym finally succeeded. Crickets. Everybody wants to see you do good, but not better than them.